right? I mean, we've started with Energy Search Pro, which we really like to see, right?
We love that. Classic.
Box.
We love that.
Which
bit of consistency.
people were going for a very long time ago when Gholdengo was out. People were trying to make it work with Hyper Aroma, right?
That was a whole thing.
But now Christian Fontenot is playing a Prime Catcher in this list, right? And I think his previous version of this list did play the Mega Lucario as well to get around Cornerstone, which is notoriously a really hard for this matchup. But he's just let go of the Mega Lucario in total, right? Shay's gonna be really disappointed now that he's heard that. But still, Prime Catcher, going for an aggressive Gholdengo.
I like that. I like it. I like the fact that you've gone, okay, well, I've got card draw now. I'm not too worried about the consistency. Do I go for the power play instead? And I think this is the way that Christians used this divisive, specific ace spec to champion this event.
Looking at the prize cards here, one Flareon being down, Amy, is not what you want to see.
Not in this matchup.
Definitely plays two, but that's kind of your winner here, right? Like you use one Flareon with a burning charge to power up the other Flareon with another burning charge, right? But we're heading into our top 4 match. I know this crowd is watching here. I would love to hear some noise for both of these competitors. They've worked so hard to get here. But Emma, starting with the Terapagos in the active, she's fine that fan Rotom. What more could you want?
Really not much as an EVBox player, as this terrestrialized deck demands. We have a terrestrial Pokemon, great, and we have Fan Rotom. So we already have the kind of the perfect starting pair almost. Any of the terrestrialized Pokemon plus a Fan Rotom just helps to get everything started. It looks like we might have split a sleeve there, so we'll just take 1 minute. Bear with us for a moment. The Hoot is unsleeved for the moment, but it's okay. We'll come back to the game in just a moment. We've got plenty of time.
Yeah, it's wear and tear, right? After you play how many rounds at this point, multiple games in a round, sometimes the sleeve's just gotta go. I know for me, I'm not the best shuffler myself.
No, I'm not.
Usually, honestly, I sleeve from phase 1 to phase 2 last weekend because like my corners were already just horrific in of itself there. So I'm just going to take a quick second just to re-sleeve that Hoot. I mean, another like weird, not talked about tip amongst competitors, right? Make sure you bring extra sleeves alongside with what you're actually having. But, we'll see how exactly this one is going to go down. I mean, you can't ask for anything more than Fan Rotom and finding your, basic bench.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the tips and tricks of coming to an event, right? What to bring with you is so imperative. What to pack in your bag. I need enough water, need hydration, need maybe some what else do we need? Maybe some extra jackets, a snag. You want to be able to control your own temperature because these halls, they can get pretty hot, or if the air conditioning's doing a really good job, sometimes you can get a bit nippy because you're sat still for so long in your game. So there's a lot of things to consider. So if you haven't been to a regionals before, think about what you're going to need to bring with you to be able to kind of play Pokemon for this long as well.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. One of the things also that I think players have started to bring with them is a notebook so they can write down their prize cards. Now, once again, my memory is not that great. I'm sure a ton of people's memory is not that great, but we do have the Hoot in a sleeve. We have the energy attachment for turn. Right on over to Christian's turn here. Terapagos, even with just 1 energy on it, is very, very scary here, but I do see Christian, and thanks to 3 mulligans, we got an Arven, we have an Artisan as well, and a Fighting Gauntlet. We can definitely get our beginner board opening massively this one turn.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is going second with the Soul Rock, that's great, but what's in the active? Terapagos has got way too much HP. We don't get that early aggression that we love to see from the Soul Rock with a knockout on something useful like a Pidgey or a Hoot without some intervention from a supporter card, which probably isn't going to happen this turn because we want to be setting up. And so, unfortunately, we might not get kind of off the mark in that regard yet because we're just simply not going to do enough damage. Now, I don't know if it's worth even placing damage or whether Christian's going to want to try and promote something else useful. We kind of want to keep the Soul Rock in play because the Soul Rock and Lunatone work together, and you can't use the ability of the Lunatone without the Soul Rock in play.
Cycle Draw is going to come out here, Amy, and I like what you're talking about how it's kind of uncomfortable to set up all the way. I'm really thinking about Christian's win conditions here, and we know how unfavorable a Gholdengo into a Flareon is. What are the chances that we can really kind of start playing this one prize board? We saw the boss's orders in hand. Do I believe have a way to keep setting up a gimme goal? We have Artisan as well with Nestball and Artisan, and we can really keep a one prize board if that's kind of the way that we'd like to do it. Now, Christian going to play the Arven this turn does not surprise me. We got a couple of cute cards in here, like Lana's Aid, for example. Nice way to recycle the deck here. But it is, of course, going to be something like this Buddy Poffin to grab a couple of gimme ghouls, get them out of the deck. But we'll see how exactly else he wants to play around this. Because you're right, 70 is not going to be enough here. But, I mean, Emma has 2 Hoots ready to go. Yeah,
so here we are. We absolutely are grabbing that air balloon as well. Might very well go on the Soul Rock in a little bit. Going for the Nest Ball for the 3rd gimme ghoul, making sure that that draw engine is ready to go. Okay, we're going for the attachment. And we got the early Prime catcher, using that balloon to dance back to the bench. Solrock now has the advantage into this Hoot Hoot. It's going to take a knockout. Wow, I didn't see that coming.
No, that is definitely the best of both worlds scenario, right? Where you're able to get your bench set up. You haven't put down the Genesect EX where you're putting down a 2-prize liability here, and you're kind of limiting some of Emma's options here. Now, granted, we do know that she does have the rare candy in hand for something like a rare candy Pidgeot, for example, which does give you whatever you want out of the deck here, but she is going to play that Nest Ball, find Pheasantipity EX, and honestly starting to do the counts here, right? But once again, Christian has led with a single prize board.
Which is exactly the position that he wants to be in. If he wants to take a lead in this, he's going to need to prevent Emma from taking multiple prizes a turn.
The big thing here is too, right? If Christian is able to get down to 4 prize cards, then I think it's the A-OK to start evolving into the Gholdengos and starting to find your boss and then your superior energy retrieval to get all of your cards within the hand. We'll see how exactly this one is going to go. 3 cards off of the flip the script here.
Ooh, we got
Draws beautifully into the Pidgeot here. And honestly, the Jewel Seeker knocked
Did you see that point from Christian? Pidgeot.
Yeah, that's why I stopped for a second. I was like, wait, hold on. But still, now this Jewel Seeker is actually able to grab some more things that we want to see out of the deck. Now, granted, there is still a Wellspring Ogerpon EX in this deck, but do we have the right tools in order to set it up here, or is Emma just going to have to, take 1 prize card per turn?
This is wild, honestly. If any situation was going to be that top deck magical moment, that Pidgeot, just to secure Emma's setup and consistency for this deck and the ferocity that we've seen it can come in with, that really does take the biscuit.
We'll see, though. I mean, once again, we have quick search. We're able to really kind of figure it out here. I did see the Cyrano get thrown around just a little bit here, and I think that's what she's going for here.
Buddy pop in, and then the Cyrano.
It's hard to see sometimes, especially when our players are so proficient and they work real fast, right? But it is going to be the Jewel Seeker for Buddy pop in, grabbing 2 more Hoot Hoots and a Cyrano, so we're able to go on ahead and grab the EVEX and some Flareons to go with it as well here. But now I'm looking at this board, and while yes, Christian is able to take a prize card here, now you're leaving a 2-prize Pokemon in the active, but look at Emma already playing so aggressively that Blood Moon Ursaluna has hit the bench already.
Yeah, I think, increasing the Terrapagos potential, but also sometimes putting lots of Pokemon on your bench. So if that Area 0 Underdepths does get knocked out of play, you can then discard Noctowl and such. So it's not a bad idea to almost what some might call overbench in this scenario, just to allow yourself some flexibility. If any damaged Pokemon can be discarded, that's always nice. And there it goes, of course, straight away. And then Emma's going to be able to scoop them up and keep them for later, because they're easy to recover with the likes of kind of Night Stretcher in this instance. So it just, sometimes them being in the discard pile is like an extra draw engine for yourself. It's easier to find them later.
Absolutely. Artisan being used here to grab another Soul Rock. And we still have Fighting Gong in the hand as well, Amy. One of the cards to come out of Mega Evolution, where you're able to grab a basic fighting Pokemon or a basic fighting energy. Very pivotal in a deck like this. It really does kind of help Gholdengo players reach that either 1, extra energy, or 2, the second piece that you need to keep drawing cards. We talked about this a little bit earlier, right, with Zoroark EX. There's not a more powerful dynamic than being able to just draw the amount of cards you find. Like, it's very rare that you even whiff when you have, 3, 4, 5 draws out of multiple Pokemon.
And that's exactly what Gholdengo excels at. And with this extra engine, you're just pushing that to its limit. And you're saying, I'm going to be able to draw cards here. It doesn't matter if I don't draw into what I need immediately, it'll come later. It looks like we're eyeing up the Genesect from this Nest Ball, and then we'll be able to get 2 more Gholdengo online, which gives us so much draw power. It's a little bit wild. We are getting 3 Gholdengo. That's going to be at least 2, 3, 4, sort of about 7 cards probably per turn.
And Christian playing a little bit more aggressive this turn, right? Earlier we said, like, maybe we'll keep the 1 prize board. It's very important to note that the Briar, right? Briar in these terrestrial decks, when you go those 2-2-2 prize races, sometimes you're actually punished for it. So now, what if Christian is able to take this knockout on Terrapagos, and with the amount of cards that we've seen, that may be possible this turn, we can really go on ahead and not worry about that line, because Emma's not going to go for something like, she's honestly stuck in where she kind of is now, where she has to really kind of go forward and think about this more carefully.
Yeah, she's chosen this kind of board state and this line very carefully, but it does kind of pigeonhole her into a particular strategy, whereas Christian still has kind of a bit of a more open strategy, and they're a little bit more flexible in this situation. Now, he looks like he's just kind of building up that handful of energy. We've got the Earthen Vessel. We can discard the Lunatone, get 2 more. We're building it up. We do 50 damage per energy discarded. Looks like we've got another top 8 result there.
Marnie's Grimmsnarl making it into top 4 over Hermione, but once again, big congratulations to Hermione. 2 top 8s in a row, 2 weeks in a row, barely a week apart, really, when you think about it, right? Amazing stuff from Hermione, just taking good old Charizard to a top 8. congratulations. But we got to get back to this match, Emma. We got a lot to work with here, and the boss's order is going to be played here. And now it is going to be Christian taking on a key part of Emma's engine here. Quick Search, notoriously known as one of the best cards where you can really just get whatever you want out of the deck. And look at this, all of this energy in the hand, 280 should be easy to hit, right? There's 150, there's 300, and there goes that Pidgeot here.
Pidgeot is down. The blustery winds have taken it straight to the discard pile, and it looks like we're scooping things up.
Sheesh.
Oh my goodness gracious. Christian 1-0 up. The underdog of this matchup. Really. The on paper, notoriously difficult matchup. And Christian uses every little inch to go, you know what, I'm going to limit you. And I'm going to take this game 1. That was exceptional play from Christian.
Christian knows where the camera is. He's so funny. Regardless, though, it was really like this aggressive play, right? But just to say, I mean, you were talking to Christian a little bit before. He stopped me out in the crowd, and he was saying, he's like, I'm not going to win this set. He was very like, I'm going to absolutely get thrashed. There's just no way. And here he is taking game number 1 here. Once again, he's a regional champion in his own right.
Absolutely.
So he knows what it takes to make it all the way to the end. But yes, Christian knows where the camera is. He's playing for all of you guys at home, either on Twitch or on YouTube, watching this set. But I know Emma's kind of gutted by this because, once again, one of the Flareon's prize, not really able to really get things going, and she saw the writing on the wall where it is just going to be going down to a 2-2-2 prize race, and when somebody's ahead, it's not great. Christian played that beautifully.
It was stunning, and honestly, taking out the Pidgeot was really a sign that Christian had this in the bag. He knows how to play this matchup. He's playing it well, and we're seeing that kind of skillful resource management of Gholdengo, which really brings it to the forefront of this event. And I just have to applaud that play because that was fantastic to see. Christian's got a mulligan there, but I imagine these two know each other's lists inside and out. I don't think there's any surprises in there for Emma. So the mulligan is on the other foot this time, but making sure that we're keeping things succinct. Emma decided, you know what, I'm too far behind. I know how this goes. I know how Christian works. I know he's not going to mess this up. So let's just move on to game 2. Let's take a look at these prize cards. 2 fire energy.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's really bad. That's the only 2.
I was about to say, you are probably looking at the same thing I am. And how many fire energy do you play? And you can guess Emma only plays 2. Now, granted, Sparkling Crystal can actually cover that because it does reduce the attack cost of a Terra Pokemon by 1. Not necessarily the worst, right? But when you want double Flareon and you have only 1 A-Spec Sparkling Crystal, that's not great here.
No, so it could get a little dicey in that respect. So we've got to look really carefully. This might be what Christian needs to kind of get ahead and maybe win this set altogether. Okay, the prize card's not looking too bad for Christian either. I don't mind this. Couple of energy, we've got plenty. 1 Gholdengo, okay. 1 Gimme Ghoul to go with it. Yeah, that's kind of fine, right?
Yeah, the Lana's Aid going down, though. If you guys don't know, Lana's Aid came out in Twilight Masquerade. Put up to any 3 combination of Pokemon that don't have a rule box. So you can't do it with Gholdengos.
No.
But you can do it with Gimme Ghouls, Soul Rocks, Lunatones, and basic energy cards right into the hand. It's not a super rod, not back into the deck, but right into the hand here. But speaking of hands, what can you ask more than a fan Rotom to start it out, especially when you're going aggressive already? There's that Eevee already hitting the board.
We've said it time and time again. When you're playing this terrestrial Pokemon box style deck, what do we want? We want Fan Rotom. Where do we want it? Turn 1.
Absolutely, right? I mean, especially when you don't draw it here, but Christian going to draw into a Nest Ball here. Now, I'm going to be real with you, Amy. I see a way that we can get some things going, right? We have the Nest Ball in hand. We have Artisan in hand as well, but I'm not seeing the power of Gholdengo. I'm not seeing the engine being able to run. No fighting energy in the hand in order to do that, right? So now, honestly, it's not looking too great right here, right now. I once again want to kind of like pose the question of how unlikely is it that we see something like a Torrential Pump? Like, we have all the pieces to technically do it if we really want to get that far, and especially onto a deck like Gholdengo. If you're able to take out both Gimme Ghouls, it's a really hard game to kind of claw back.
I think this is it from Christian. We're going to have to pass the turn.
Not great.
Not great. Lunatone in the active. Emma draws, gets the Sparkling Crystal. We evolve into the Flareon, giving us a terrestrial Pokemon. Noctowl is live. We have Serrano in hand. Not super helpful right now. We have Artisan, though. Here's our first Jewel Seeker. We're in game 2 of this top 4 match. Emma Hagen versus Christian Fontenot at the Gdansk Regional Championships. What are we eyeing up here? I think we're just doing a little count, checking the prizes, giving that real opportunity to herself to check what's available, what's not, what's the game plan, how are we going to stop Christian? If there's anyone who can defeat Emma on this hot streak, if anyone knows her list, her lines, the way she plays, it's Christian, right?
Absolutely. I'm obviously going into the Jewel Seeker here, but I think she's really lining up a way to just get Pidgeot up and running. I think what's very creative about this version of a terrestrial deck compared to something like a Terra Box is not only can you fall back on your Noctowls, but you can also fall back on Pidgeot, right? And I love how she's able to prioritize both here. But we'll see the Nest Ball for another Hoot Hoot. That just makes the most amount of sense here. She's got to play down the Nest Ball, I believe, unless it came from hand here. But here comes that Area 0 Underdeath and the Cyber Cyrano here.
There we go. Now we're rocking and rolling.
This is clean, right? I mean, Cyrano definitely a supporter card that we don't see too much of, but now look at the power of it, right? Now we can quick search for even just an energy here. We can get that burning charge going. We can start powering up that other Eevee.
I'm stunned. I am lost for words. That all happened so quickly and so impressively. I'm stunned at how aggressive this deck can be. Christian really took the initiative with the aggression last game and just not having the turn 1 attack to back it up this time. We've gone ahead with Flareon's first attack. And Burning Charge allows us to attach those energy and do 130 damage.
Here's the big part of this, Amy, and it's always going back to the prize race, right? If Christian were to knock out this active Flareon here, that's putting himself right back into potentially the Briar Trap at the bitter, bitter end. Emma has already started to set it up, right? If she's able to find that Briar. The thing is, Flareon is, the two fire energy are prized, so she didn't get that off the prizes, but they're pretty low at the prizes, right? So we have to figure out a way to kind of mess with this prize map because Briar is 100% available for this game for her.
Yeah, and it really wants to be something that you're aiming towards. She's clearly threatening the next Flareon, but it's not happening yet. So we've got time, but Christian may not know that. So his plays are going to be very indicative of that. And we've gone, wow, for the Turo to get the next Gholdengo to be able to draw 2 more cards because Christian needs more resources to keep this train going. Going for the Nest Ball. I imagine another Gimme Ghoul on bench is probably wise. Oh, we got the Pheasantipity. Yeah, I suppose we got to keep drawing those cards. A knockout was taken on the previous turn.
Yeah, not feeling too great about this one, right? Christian doesn't have the reliable kind of hand that he had in game 1 with multiple Earthen Vessels, multiple Fighting Gongs, able to do it, especially in, when you talk about setup decks, I think of Gholdengo, the first one, right?
Yeah.
You sometimes are really reliant on that, which is why the ace spec in this deck has always been kind of debated, right? Where people are like, oh, maybe Precious Trolley is better. Flip the script, though, we are able to find not only just a Lunatone, a Gholdengo, but also a fighting energy, so we can actually cycle, or lunar cycle.
Here we go.
3 cards, more energy.
Vessel?
My goodness.
Wow.
The Fighting Gong, the Earthen Vessel, and already a metal energy.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we can actually get all the way up there with the right amount of math.
We might be able to, and we also have the Gholdengo, which we drew off the Pheasantipity. We can evolve the Gimme Ghoul that's on the bench because it was played last turn. We have another Gimme Ghoul in hand, which I didn't notice before. So the Pheasantipity definitely was the play from there. So we've actually got quite a good amount of flexibility at this stage to be able to kind of maybe take this into the driver's seat. We've got the Fighting Gong for another energy. We still need a metal energy attachment for turn, but that's no problem. That's in hand.
Yeah, this one's a little bit tough, right? Because Flareon all the way up to 270 hit points here. When you have 270 hit points, you do need to go all the way up to 300 on your Make It Rain attack here. So I'm interested to see if we're going to be able to make and piece it together here. As I can see right now, I don't see a superior energy retrieval in the hand. I think you're right, Amy, where we are going to have to go into another Gholdengo here. Maybe by sequencing, maybe we, Earthen Vessel away the Picnic Basket. My goodness. Okay, Prime Catcher.
Here we go again.
Yeah, now here's the thing. Now we brought it back to the fact that the Briar line is not going to be something that Emma's going to be able to do here if Christian's going to once again meet her with the same aggression here. Latias up into the active here. Very creative by Christian, not leaving that Gholdengo in the active.
No, the only thing this does open us up to is a quick search for the boss and take out a Gholdengo and just kind of catapult Emma into the lead in this game, taking more prize cards. So I'm going to go ahead and bench the Ursaluna now. The Blood Moon Ursaluna has proven itself in this tournament time and time again as a ferocious attacker late game. Here's the Pidgeot for the boss's orders being eyed up there. I can't imagine why. I know. There's the Gholdengo. The Flareon has weakness into it. It's an easy 2-prize knockout, and it slows Christian down even more.
I think what's sometimes very funny is that when we're really talking about the Pokemon trading card game, sometimes the most obvious play that everyone can see is actually the right play.
Yeah.
So quick search for boss's orders here is going to be the right way around it. 2 Flareons on the bench. This is exactly what Emma wants to see here. And she's able to get the fire energy off of the prizes as well. So that Flareon onto the bench will be able to attack without a sparkling crystal as well. This is massive here.
That's what we're talking about. Getting that fire energy off the prize cards was humongous. We're going over to Christian's side, going for a flip the script. We got some more energy, so we've started to now build up this bank of energy that we need to be able to take a big knockout. Christian can probably get a knockout quite comfortably this turn, but it's going to be tough to then pull together a win just due to how far ahead Emma is, and just avoiding kind of any awkward prize mapping on her side has been really clever. So it's unfortunately looking like it's going to be tough unless Emma misses a beat, which if anyone's going to be able to maneuver and make it happen, it's going to be Christian, but it's looking a little bit sketchy. Managed to get another Fighting Gong, and we have the Earthen Vessel, so we can definitely get at least 3 more energy this turn.
My whole thing is when you look at Emma's board, right, look how much kind of checkmate she has on all sides, right?
Yes.
I mean, you can just assume that Blood Moon Ursaluna is going to get another energy onto it next turn, right? Especially because we know that the fire energy is within hand. And what Christian did really well in game number 1 was able to kind of stop the Pidgeot quick search with the Prime Catcher and with the boss's orders. So I'm excited to see if Christian's going to be able to weave it back, but a very, very slow turn 1 goes to show why sometimes Gholdengo can really struggle in a matchup like this, where a deck will technically kind of overrun you.
It's Golden slow, not Golden go in this matchup, as we are just a little behind, unfortunately. But we do have the energy to finally back up some vicious attacks from Gholdengo. But unfortunately, I'm just not sure if it's quite going to be enough. We need to attach for turn. We have the superior energy retrieval, but we do need to discard. I don't think we're going to need the picnic basket in this matchup because we are just taking big knockouts on either side of the board. So we do go ahead and discard that alongside another card. Of course, we've got the attach return. And here comes the knockout on Flareon, finally with that sparkling crystal. But first up, we're going for a vitality band, so we don't have to spend quite as many energy.
I mean, that's very fair, Christian. Throwing his friend's cards aside here, as he will take that knockout here, getting himself at least on the board just to 3 prize cards, but it is just going to be the concession again here from Christian Fontenot. I think it's really funny how both players see, like, oh, I see the prize map that you have. I was going to say, like, Christian could find something along the lines of a Professor Turo scenario onto the Pheasantipity, and then Blood Moon Ursaluna only hits for that 240, but it's a little bit wishful here. So your winner of game number 2 is going to be Emma. We are heading into a game number 3, and what has been a very, very fun match so far between 2 really good friends.
Honestly, it's been a joy to watch them having fun. Yeah. I loved Christian's look, a Pidgeot in game 1. It was very funny and very good sportsmanship as well. But, you know, although we saw the Pidgeot, it wasn't meant to be and didn't stick around. Unlike game 2, where we started off, of course, really strong on Emma's side of the board with this flurry of Pokemon that I just couldn't keep up with. A Pidgeot, a Sparkling Crystal, we quick search, and it just went on. And Christian just was never really able to establish a board strong enough to come back with a meaningful knockout early enough. As a boss's orders, of course, took that first Gholdengo down for 2 prize cards with our Flareon. Weakness helping out a whole bunch. Carnelian absolutely melting down that Gholdengo. And there's Christian having a great time. We have to remember, this is the Pokemon trading card game, and we are all here for a little bit of fun. But Christian sees the writing on the wall and goes, okay, let's go to game 3 and see what it has in store. This matchup has already had so many twists and turns.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing for both players, aside from a mulligan on both sides, Christian was really able to kind of take advantage of getting just 1 knockout on his first turn, going second with Soul Rock to at least put him on the board, right?
Yes.
He beautifully set up a single prize board as well, so Emma wasn't really able to kind of push ahead. Like I said, there is Wellspring Ogerpon in this deck, but sometimes you'd rather save your Sparkling Crystal for, of course, the Flareon, which needs it a little bit more here.
Yeah.
But when you're going 1 for 1 in that opening turn, that's when Gholdengo is going to be able to power up when it sees that 2 prize Pokemon and start going kind of a little bit faster than you.
Yeah, and it was beautiful pacing. We saw the established single prize board, which was beautiful. And then all of a sudden it turned aggressive as everything evolved and everything got big and scary. And it really goes to show how just holding back, knowing when to turn the tide of the pace of the game is a great strategy. Starting with the Soul Rock there, looked like from Christian, which is a good start. We'll see what Emma flips over as well. The handshake seals it, and we're into game 3.
Here we go. Prizes going out here. That Wellspring going down. Another fire energy. I don't know about you, Amy, but I mean, 1 copy of Professor Turo scenario when you play 2, very interesting. But my goodness, Christian going to opt to go first here.
Oh,
so
that's
maybe we're going to try to play a little bit more aggressive here. Has the Nest Ball. You can only assume that we're going to go in and grab that Lunatone so we can start going for our Lunar Cycle here. And what a great card, honestly. I mean, I think it's perfectly balanced because you have to have a Soul Rock in play in order to do it, right? But discard 1, draw 3, that's pretty good.
And we don't mind discarding those energy. That's kind of what we want to do. Right. The way that Gholdengo works now, whereas before you could get all of the energy with Energy Search Pro out of the deck, the way it works now is that you actually want the energy in the discard pile. True. You want it there, and then you want to be able to fish it back out with Energy Search Pro to take your big knockouts. So the skill in this deck is no longer to harbor the energy in your hand necessarily. You're fine to let it go, and you'll fetch it back later when you need it. So actually it's more advantageous for it to be in the discard pile, and Lunatone is the perfect associate to make that happen.
Absolutely. And of course, once again, Energy Search Pro can still absolutely be played in these Gholdengo decks, but you know, I love the way that Christian is opting for something more aggressive, right? But there's that Lunar Cycle, draws right into the Earthen Vessel, has the attach for turn as well, but with 1 Gimme Ghoul on the bench, not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but she top decked that Nest Ball. My goodness, we're going to be able to have a game, Amy.
Here we go, an equally matched game on either side. We'll be looking, of course, for those important Pokemon. We're going to need a Terrestrial Pokemon. We need a Fan Rotom to get these Hoots on the board and possibly a Noctowl in hand. We're going to be looking for these really important pieces that are essential for Emma's setup. If she doesn't get these cards, the deck just runs too slow, and Gholdengo will be able to take advantage of that.
I'm looking right now, Amy. I don't know if there's a way that we can actually get this Hoot out of the active here.
Ooh.
It's looking a little bit uncomfortable on Emma's side. And while, yes, you are essentially saved from, you know, eating a Cosmic Beam next turn, but what do we do then, right? We are going to grab the Fan Rotom here, but you can see that Pheasantipity EX also at the top, right? We want to essentially plan for that inevitability, but the problem is we're going to see Crisp in here, so we are going to be able to get some damage on the board at least. We can actually get Hoot out of the active here, but I still see, I mean, Christian going up in the prize race first. That Fan Rotom's not going to do enough.
No, I don't know if it's worthwhile necessarily kind of promoting.
Call
for family. Pidgey, the 50 HP Wonderbird. Oh my goodness, what a surprise. Pidgey in the active, keeping those Hoot safe. Incredible call for family moment there for Pheasantipity. And on to Christian's turn, where we start off with the Earthen Vessel to just get us going. Of course, we discard an energy because, like I said earlier, we just don't need them right now. And they're actually better off in our discard pile for the moment. Of course, we're probably going to be able to use that lovely Lunatone's ability as well to cycle draw some more cards.
I'm worried, Amy, here, though, because you're forced to call for family for a terrestrial Pokemon on the bench here. Christian already with two fighting energies in the discard, plus the Lunar Cycle draw. That's a third, plus the retreat on Solrock. That's four. If we find a boss's orders here, we could boss's orders that EV, bring it up into the active, and there goes all of that work to bring it out here. We have to see what happens here. Lunar Cycle for 3. Turo Scenario is the supporter here. We do have some Gholdengos, but I don't know.
We can retreat into the Gholdengo and then draw 2. So that gives us a little more flexibility.
Yeah, but then it's stuck there, right? And we don't want to stick it there right when we know that Emma has Noctowl and she's already played one Crispin, and you know that she's got some kind of hardware ready to go here. It's very dangerous to kind of evolve into this Gholdengo here, but do we just have to take for one here? Not even a boss's. We can get the Pidgey, of course, but then that activates something like a counter catcher that Emma can play here.
Is it too risky to leave that Gholdengo in the active? That is the question. Let us know in chat. What do you think?
Could it be the fact maybe we draw one, if we don't find it, we Turo it up and then replace a Gimmighoul? So we're still onto the one prize board.
I like it.
That's a line I could see here.
I think it's happening.
Here we go. One card.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it's another Gholdengo here. I'm real worried about this one, Amy.
Oh, I'd love to be a fly on the wall and know what the next card is to know if it would have been worth it. I really want to know.
I'm really worried about this one.
Oh, me too.
Because we definitely don't want to take... here's my thing. If we're going to get on the board, okay, right? Like, fine, we can get on the board here. We just have to take that 2 prize off, but still, I don't think so.
No.
I think it might just be the attack.
Oh my gosh.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking for me.
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous. And the Eevee is just... Okay, looking at Emma's hand.
Yeah, she has Fire
everything.
Crystal in hand.
She has Fire Crystal, like Noctowl's in hand. If Christian was able to take this Eevee down, Emma could do practically nothing on her turn.
Yeah, absolutely
she would have to
not. Just a pass.
Wow. Oh my gosh. The Jet Energy as well.
Is it Noctowl for Terra Orb if she plays the Terra Orb within the deck? Terra Orb, grab Flareon and boss's orders here. Just attach Sparkling Crystal, take out the only Gholdengo on the board. That's a line I see.
That really would be devastating if you're Christian. Nowhere to go really beyond that. Not taking a knockout here. Not wanting to activate a potential counter catcher, so did not take the Pidgey out. Leaves Emma a line into the Pidgeot, which then has the free retreat and of course the quick search, which then just solidifies her position in always being able to tutor a card once per turn. Any card from the deck could be taken, and because it could be any card, it's hidden knowledge from Christian.
All right, doing things a little bit quick here. So she did discard 2 cards while also grabbing the Pidgeot, using Rare Candy at the same time to save some time here. There's the Jet Energy as well, the Area 0 Underdepths, and another Noctowl coming into play here for what I could assume would be something like a Buddy Buddy Poffin. I think she plays 3 though, but it is going to be the Terra Orb for the Flareon, the boss's orders, and it will be the boss's orders, Terra Orb into the Burning Charge onto the Gholdengo EX here. Christian is about to lose his only Gholdengo in play, and this is going to look really good for Emma, because once again, she uses Buddy Buddy Poffin. She can get another Eevee set up and ready to go.
Yeah, just getting the Eevee and the Hoot ready on the bench there. But realistically, Gholdengo is golden gone, as we don't have any attack power anymore that can cope with the heat that Flareon is bringing.
Gotta try though, right? You gotta find a way back into it. All right, the next card was an Artisan. It was not boss.
Okay,
so
I feel better now.
Last turn though. We'll see how this one could kind of play out here. Going to bump the Area 0 under depths, but that discard is clear as day, right? You just get rid of the Noctowls that you have. We are able to grab another Gimmighoul though, so we can get something started. But the problem is, Amy, what after? I was about to talk about this. We have to use a superior energy retrieval to get that energy back in hand so we can Lunar Cycle. That feels horrific.
That doesn't feel good, but it will help us to establish at least something going on here. A, we need Gimmighouls. B, we're probably gonna need some sort of pivot in some respect. We need to be able to drag one of Emma's Pokemon from the bench forward, because realistically, we're not going to be able to touch this Flareon right now. It doesn't really give Christian any advantage to do 70 damage.
And here's the thing too, Amy. I mean, we can get double Gimme Ghoul ready to go here, but now we have a fully powered Flareon. Nothing's stopping Emma from just using Burning Charge over and over. It doesn't matter about the target at this point. She's going up massively here in this game, and it will just be the Cosmic Beam here for 70. Now, granted, it does soften up a little bit later for another 4 energy just to be used. But the problem is we're not swinging for 2 this turn. That doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't, especially when Emma's already 2 prize cards ahead. Now, Emma won't be able to take another 2 prize cards this turn, so at least that's something. We have left a 2 prize board state, a single prize board state even, goodness. So that does kind of push Emma onto an awkward prize race, but realistically, it was all Christian could do this turn. Now we're back onto Emma, and my word, she just has every ball in her court, going for the Serrano. Of course, we're getting Blood Moon Ursaluna, second Flareon. There it is, evolved up and ready to go, and the Fire Energy as well.
Yeah, and this was kind of what we were talking about a little bit earlier, right? How you have your backup attacker essentially ready to go. Pidgeot still doing what Pidgeot does best. And the biggest thing here too, Amy, is that we don't even have to evolve this Hoot Hoot, which is also why, you know, conserving the resources here. But here we go. We finally found some Gholdengos to go with here. We have an Arvin in hand. We have a Professor Turo scenario in hand. My thing is, Amy, is just what do you do when you already have, you can take care of one Flareon easily, right? But can you take care of the second one?
Yeah, that's the trouble. And at 3 prize cards remaining, that might just spell it all out for Emma. Christian still absolutely playing this out as he should. We're on game 3 here, top 4 in Gdansk, Poland, and Christian looking pretty in a sticky spot here, and not feeling great, I imagine, about it, because there was such an impressively early potential for taking out that Eevee, which would have totally changed the game, and we just didn't see the resources to back it up.
It's another thing, too, where I don't think it's necessarily safe to bench this Pheasantipity EX either. You saw that Emma was able to grab the Blood Moon Ursaluna off the Cyrano, and you know, it's great to keep drawing cards, right? But those Gholdengos are not going to go down to a Blood Moon, right? So we kind of have to work with what we have here. But the Professor Turo scenario will be played to grab up a Soul Rock, or, a Lunatone, excuse me. There's 2 of them. We'll see how this one's going to go. Double Fighting Gong. Like I said, we can definitely get to the point where we're taking out this Flareon, but what do you do about the one right behind it?
I think that's what's probably going through Christian's head at this moment, is figuring out if there's any lead into that, if there's any way to guarantee it, or to disrupt, or to kind of just put Emma back on the back foot. But with only Gholdengo being our kind of larger attackers and being weak to the fire type is really detrimental. Whenever a weakness occurs in the Pokemon trading card game, the Pokemon does double the amount of damage. So Emma only needs 2 energy on this Flareon to knock out the Gholdengo. We don't need to use Carnelian, and she's just flashing. Oh, there we go. We got that was a show of, I think, the Lana's Aid in the discard pile. There we go. Of course, we are knocking out our first Flareon, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
Yeah, the thing is, though, very admirable of Christian to still be in it, though, right?
100%.
But my goodness, this is what we like to call checkmate in the Pokemon trading card game. You got that one attacker, Emma, showing that she has capability of just having the second one ready to go, where she's going to be able to use Burning Charge once more to power up this Blood Moon Ursaluna. We'll see the retreat into the Flareon using Burning Charge once again for weakness here. My big question is, once again, Amy, we can definitely get this Flareon out of here, and Christian has played very conservatively, right? We're not putting down anything that can get kind of destroyed by Blood Moon Ursaluna here, so it's really going to be up to these Gholdengos at this point.
It has to be. They have to try and pull their weight. Christian will be able to take another 2 prize cards here. However, the Blood Moon Ursaluna is then ready to go. It's not quite enough, but it wouldn't take a lot of extra to kind of push forward and take the final prize card here. Flushing the Black Belts training. Emma, goodness.
Be nice. Regardless, though, right? Even if checkmate wasn't already kind of established on board here, you also have Pidgeot to just quick search boss, right? You know, we're talking about sometimes the most obvious play is the best play to go for it, but Christian's still absolutely in this fight as well, using the Air Balloon to retreat and draw 2 more cards here. Finds the boss's orders. Now, this is a weird one, Amy. Do we boss the Pidgeot? No.
No.
Boss the Blood Moon? Like,
no.
None of it. I think we just have to take care of what's in front of us here.
You have to, because otherwise the Flareon's going to come back and bite you, right?
Yep, absolutely. And figure out.
That's going to be it. So Amazon 1 prize card. Christian has to deal with this Flareon right here, right now, regardless of the bear being in the bag. The Blood Moon Ursaluna, of course, being that win condition right there. The attached return, taking out this Flareon, fighting tooth and nail to the bitter end. Christian Fontenot. There we go. We are doing it. We're bossing up the Pidgeot and taking that down at least. And then, of course, we can bring forward. We're going to go for the Blood Moon play for fun. There it is. The Black Belts trading and the fist bump to close it all of Emma Hagen, producing masterful plays against her friend Christian to take the big win with Blood Moon Ursaluna.
Yeah, great stuff from Emma heading into her first finals here. Our first finalist is going to be decided. And honestly, what a really, really fun set that we did.